Morning guys, how are we doing? Hope you're good. So Tuesday, and this morning we're going to be talking about changing. And you probably rewind 2 weeks ago, you probably would have thought to yourself, you promised yourself you were going to make a ton of changes to your life, health, the way that you thought, your mindset, your approach to life. And I just want to give you 4 steps to kind of help you get there, because sometimes it can be quite daunting. You don't know quite where to start, and you don't know where the start line is. You don't know how you're going to get there. So what I thought we'd do here was just do like a little 4-step of the things that, or the guides that I certainly would give somebody who was starting, maybe who hasn't done anything for a little bit, or maybe he's trying to get back into something, maybe coming back from injury, maybe hasn't done anything for years, and this is their year. Okay, so number 1, know exactly what it is that you want to change. Now, a lot of people throw out that they want to change and that they need to change. They want to change maybe their lifestyle, maybe their health, maybe the way that they look, maybe a relationship, maybe a job. But I think you have to be really clear about this, and I don't think this is something that you can just do in your head. This is something I feel that you have to sit down and write down in a journal or a piece of paper or whatever the hell you want to write it down on, okay? But you have to self-explore. You have to be more self-aware about what it is that you want to change and go into a little bit more detail. It's no point in just saying, I want to change my health. I want to, I want to change a job. I want to change a relationship. Start figuring out why you want to change those things, why they're making you unhappy, so that the change that you make doesn't take you from one bad situation and environment to another. And I think that's really important, to identify those key points of the reasons that you want to change. It will be the foundations of the reason you do change. It will end up being your purpose. I want to change my job because I'm not happy in the environment and there is no career prospects for me, which is great. So you now know that when you're looking for a new job, you're looking for a great atmosphere. You're looking for people that you want to work with that are inspiring, motivated, like yourself, and you want to know that there is potential for career prospects. I want to be much better I want to change my health situation. Okay, so what do you want to change? Okay, I want to change the way that I look. I want to lose this gut. Okay, so we're focusing on fat loss as well as fitness. So the fitness will naturally come. So hey, let's try and lose a stone in 12 weeks. That roughly works out 1.1 pounds. Okay, roughly a pound a week. That's achievable. That's more than achievable. Okay, so we're going into detail about what it is that you want to change, okay, and why. That ends up being your purpose and your state of mind. Okay, the second thing is to be planned and organised. And these things are in no particular order, guys. When anyone ever builds a house, they always build the foundations. Without those foundations, the house will fall down. Now, I'm a big believer that as humans, if we don't have foundations in place, we fall down also. Okay? We just cuff it. We just wing it. We just float and exist and drift. We yo-yo. We're going up and down. And there's no real plan. There's no plan of where you want to be by the end of the year. There is no quarterly plans, no weekly plans, no daily plans. So you've got nothing to work from. You've got no guidance to work from. And what isn't tracked, you can't manage. If you don't track something, you can't manage. If you think about a business and they track their profit and loss, their ins and outs, they know how much money's coming in, they know how much money's going out. If you don't have any of that, if you're not planning towards a goal, if you're not planning to be somewhere in 12 months' time, if there's not an end state that you're planning to reach, then you've got nothing to judge. You've got nothing to base your achievement on. Whereas you plan and prep, you build up the foundations of the habits, the routines, the structure, the patterns that you have in your life. You build them up slowly. You recognise them. you're seeing potential benefits, potential flaws, you can then address them. Okay, so planning and prepping. Third one actually links quite nicely. Have a goal. Like, fucking have a goal. Have a purpose. Like, so I'll give you an example. My goal for the first 12 weeks in terms of health is to be running 70 miles a week. Okay, by the time we finish the end of March and go into April, I need to be running 70 miles a week. All right, ready for my 100 miler. In terms of business, my goal is to make sure that the Train Like a Marine weekend seminar down here in Bexhill with me is fully planned and is a success, and that I'll have at least 10 to 15 people coming down here. So everything I'm working on weekly up until that point is really focused on my main role of getting that Train Like a Marine. My goal by the end of the year is to run a seminar in New York. How fucking mad's that? That goal's a little bit out there. It's a little bit wild. It's a little bit eccentric. But I love New York. And I just thought, fucking hell, imagine being able to do a seminar abroad. So I put it out there. And I've just set myself that target. And hopefully on November the 16th, I will do that. You know, my goal by the end of the year, fitness-wise, is to make sure I've done my 100 miler in 24 hours. And then followed it up with maybe a couple of triathlons afterwards. Okay, and to be in great shape at 41, to be in amazing shape, and I'd like to be fit enough and look good enough to be able to do a photo shoot, so that I can stick that up and say, look, hey, this is me at 41. I'm absolutely looking ripped. You can look ripped too. All right, so goals. So if we just summarise real quick, we've talked about the knowing what you want to change, so raising that self-awareness. Then we've talked about the planning and the preparation that's needed to make sure that we are planning daily, weekly. We're managing our time, we're being productive. And then we're looking at goal setting, so making sure that we're achieving goals. And then the last one, it's a funny one, but I think you need accountability. Like, some people don't. Some people can get on through by themselves, but I think at some point there has to be some form of accountability. Whether that's your buddy, whether that's your missus, whether that's your group, whether that's a coach. But you have to be accountable for your actions. So I'll give you an example that we've got like 120 guys in a Brotherhood right now. Okay, 120 guys in a Brotherhood. The platform of the Brotherhood is for support and accountability. Not only do they hold themselves accountable within the group, they hold themselves accountable in the background within their smaller micro groups. I run a Brotherhood Elite, which is a more personalised type of coaching program for people to develop them over a quarter. They fucking have to hold themselves accountable to me face to face over a conference call. So when I'm like, where's your planning? What's going on this week? Why haven't you done your workouts? What's going on with this? What's going on with that? If you think about it, when you're at work, if you're not the boss and you're doing work, you know you're going to be held accountable for the work that you've done. If you've got kids, you hold them accountable. Have you done your homework? Is your uniform hung up? Have you done your packed lunch? Have you brushed your teeth? And you know full well, without that accountability, your kids will fucking not do it. Okay, they won't brush their teeth. They just throw their uniform on the floor. They won't do their homework. So you see how important accountability is. If you put yourself in your kid's place, look how important it is that they are being held accountable, because they will just get away with murder. And you are no different. You are no different. You will make excuses. You will come up with the wildest excuse why you couldn't train, why you haven't sat down and planned your week, why you're not eating well, why you're not putting your food into MyFitnessPal. You name it, if there's no accountability, you'll get away with it. And then you won't move forwards. All right, so they're my 4 tips, my 4 steps to helping you change. They're the start point. There's a million things that we could do with this. But whenever I work with anyone, these are the fundamentals. These are your foundations. These are your pillars. Knowing why you want to change. Once you know why you want to change, you can then maybe not go from one bad situation to the other. It gives you a reason. It gives you some purpose into the change that you want to make. Planning and prepping. The fundamentals, the absolute foundations of change is planning and prep to improve your habits, routines, structure and patterns. Third is goal setting. It's going to be your fire. It's going to be your drive. It's going to be one of the reasons that you get out of bed early. It's going to be an achievement, accomplishment. It's how we're going to judge ourselves at the end of that period, that deadline that we set those goals for. And then the last one is about accountability. So accountability, being accountable to someone for our actions, so that we follow through, so that we're not mugging it off, we're not making bullshit excuses. All right, guys? So listen, I hope that was helpful for you. If you listened on podcast, please do leave a review. I massively appreciate it. It takes like 5 seconds, if that. If you're watching on video, please do share. And there is a link somewhere here if you want to join us for our 7-day trial. There is no costs, there is no sales pitch. It's just for you to come into the Brotherhood for free access for 7 days to see what it's about. It's for you. You can come and join us. If it's not, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. All right. Have a great day, and I will catch you tomorrow, ready and raring to go.